Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your August 2019 Astrology 33 reading. Before I forget, I just want to thank those of you who've liked, subscribed, viewed, shared my videos, donated to the channel, you name it. I appreciate all that. And for those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, following me on Instagram, or donating to the channel, just check out the description of the video. You'll find all the info on that there. Alright, so let's get to your main spread. I will say, as I started to lay the cards out, there was one theme going on, and then it seemed to shift for me a bit. So this might be one of those readings where it resonates for a small group of you, and it's a bit heavy, to be honest with you. At least that energy that started to hit me as I started to lay out more cards. So I just want to give you guys a heads up about that. And, if you feel like this isn't resonating with you, then, you might want to check out your rising sign or moon, whatever placement this is. Check out your other placements, put it that way. Just wanted to give you guys that heads up because that message really started to hit me over the head, and I feel like there's no way it's going to resonate for most of you. So just wanted to at least put that disclaimer out there. But this is a Celtic cross spread as always. A couple extra cards came out, and we have some oracle cards to look at after that to help tie everything together, and then finally a mudra card. All right, so let's get started. In the position of the main situation, we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. So, on the one hand, this could just represent you possibly dealing with a Libra and, maybe deciding whether or not you want to continue to put effort in with that person. This could technically be any air sign, actually, but this is the court card for a Libra. It could also be a Gemini or an Aquarius, or just anyone that takes on that energy. And then plus Libra is the natural house of relationships as well. So maybe there's a relationship that you've been in for a while and you're at that crossroads where you're wondering, do you want to put more effort into it? Or possibly this could just be you debating whether you want to enter into a relationship to begin with, right? That could be what's playing out there. Because in the challenger obstacle position, we have the Three of Cups. So, to me, that could represent just wanting to keep your options open in a relationship sense. That's one way that could be playing out. And actually, before I forget too, there's another thing that I'm seeing here with the Libra energy. For you guys, Libra is your 11th house, and that's a house that points to friendships. So this could just also be you looking at a friend group that you're dealing with and actually, and wondering if you still want to invest time with that friend group, right? Maybe you feel like you're outgrowing them, because the Three of Cups is an energy to me that represents long-standing relationships. So, maybe friends you've known since you were a young kid. Maybe you went to school together with them, or it could even be family members. But what I'm thinking with this coming up in the challenge position is maybe you just feel like you might have outgrown them and you're trying to decide, do you still want to invest in those friendships? If it is a relationship, pretty much the same vibe as far as, maybe there's someone who wants a relationship with you and you're trying to debate, do I want to be in a relationship or do I want to keep my options open, right? And then the angle I was talking about where it could get a little bit heavier is this maybe you're starting to outgrow a friend group because maybe you feel like whenever you guys do get together, all you guys do is drink and party, right? And maybe you're like looking at that, you're like, it's not fulfilling me. It's basically a waste of my money, you know what I mean? Because if we look at the Pentacles as money, looks like they're not satisfied with what they have, and you really could just be reevaluating those connections, like, do I really want to continue with this friend group or what? So hopefully one of those angles resonate with you guys. In the foundation position, we have the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Cups. So in the relationship theme, so we will keep going with the themes back and forth. Hopefully that doesn't get too confusing. But with the relationship theme, with this cup, this is the only cup in the cup suit where the cup is completely closed off. So this could just be you having an internal battle on one hand where, you just have a difficulty opening up to love, right? Like you, like underneath it all, you might realize that that's the potential, right? That this is what it could lead to for you, but you just struggle with that ability to open up, you know? And because this is a Cancer card, and for you guys, Cancer is your 8th house. So it could be one of those things where, it's just difficult for you to open up in that way. So that could be what's going on there. And then again, this could just be for some of you, like I said, maybe you're getting past a drinking problem, right? So maybe that's what that Queen of Cups is. It's like, all right, you closed it off, right? You're moving on from that. And now those cups being in that rainbow, you're like celebrating the fact that, all right, I'm leaving that behind, right? That could be how it's playing out for some of you. Like I said, that angle, the part of addiction and maybe, a drinking problem is definitely a little bit of a heavier topic, and I feel like it's not going to resonate for a lot of you, but it's just the way the cups are coming out to me in this particular reading for some reason. So I know someone out there has to hear it. So hopefully those of you do get something positive out of that angle. And the rest of you can hang with me as we go through the rest of the scenarios too. In the past position, we have the 8 of Wands and the 2 of Swords. So this is another Libra energy. So this could just be saying, again, maybe there's a lot of communication from those friends. Maybe they're always trying to get you to go out, right? Oh, come on, let's go out tonight. Let's do our thing. Let's party, right? And maybe this is you trying to, hold back from that, right? You're like turning your back. Because again, with the water there, right? And if I think of the water as like the potential alcohol, right? You're like trying to turn your back on it. Like, nope, I'm not trying to get into that tonight. I'm trying to, stay away from all that right now. For others of you, this could, going back to their relationship dynamic, this could just be someone, really trying to communicate with you and get you into a relationship. And you're like, yeah, I don't know, with that 7 of Pentacles energy we saw there, still just being a bit undecided about it. Like, yeah, I don't know if that's something I can do right now, right? This is a Sagittarius card too, so you could definitely be dealing with a Libra since we keep seeing like, Sag energy, Libra energy. So Libra energy under that card, there's Sag energy here, so, or maybe you have a Libra placement as well. In the present position, we have the Knight of Wands. So this is actually the court card for Sagittarius, so there's that. And what stands out to me with that too, like I was saying with the whole potential drinking thing, I'm looking at the way that the Knight is moving away from all of this, right? So, this could just be saying that you're trying to get back to your old self, right? Like, all right, I'm moving away from all that. And even with the armor, right? Like you're trying to really avoid falling back into those bad habits. And then for those of you, if this is resonating more on the relationship vibe, could be the same type of theme as far as you're, again, there's that person maybe looking for a commitment from you, and you're just like, yeah, I can't, like I said, just feeling really closed off, like you can't open up in a relationship sense. So you just, kind of take off and do your thing. So that's the vibes that I'm getting there. In the near future position, we have the King of Cups. So like I said, more cup energy here. This is actually a card of Scorpio. And then for you guys, Scorpio is your 12th house too. So this could be you may be looking at ways that you might be getting in your own way, So if it is an addiction, for example, maybe you're looking at, all right, well, how can I put that behind me, right? If it's a relationship thing where, like I said, maybe in a way underneath it all, you do actually want a relationship as well, but you just struggle, like you always have that flight response, right? When things start to get serious, and maybe you're trying to look at that, like, all right, why do I keep getting to that point, and then like self-sabotaging, But like I said, again, with yet another cup card, this could just represent, that struggle back and forth trying to avoid getting into drinking, but, maybe you just feel like it's everywhere you go in a way, In the position of your influence on the situation, we have the 9 of Swords and the 9 of Cups. So this was another combination that made me think of the drinking thing, because it's like, well, why would these two cards go together, right? But to be fair, it could also be the relationship thing theme again, because, the cups are about love and relationships too. So this could be, on the one hand, if it's a relationship thing, this could be where this is you, just really worrying, and, you're thinking about it over and over. You realize deep down, yes, this could make me happy, but for some reason, you just can't get over that hurdle for some reason, and it's keeping you up at night. You're like, why can't I just get to that next level, right? Like, you might really want to deep down, but something keeps holding you back. So, maybe some unresolved, fears from a past relationship that you just never really took the time to get past, so maybe that could be what it is. And then for those of you with the drinking, it's a little bit darker with that angle, because to me it could be like, all right, on the one hand, you're trying to stay away from drinking, but you maybe when you're not drinking, you feel like you're just stuck in your thoughts, right? Like all you can do is you have a lot of anxiety, or worrying about a lot of things. And then you feel like when you do drink, you're happy, because if we look at the difference with the backgrounds, right, the all black background there, and then with this, it's the yellow background. The person, they look a little smug, but they definitely look content, right, and almost proud of themselves with how much they would have drank, right? So from a drinking angle, that's what I think of there, where it's really like, you're trying hard to put it behind you, but then at the same time, you're like, man, but when I'm not out drinking, I feel like I'm missing out, right? I have so much fun when I go out drinking. So, for some of you, it could just really be something you're struggling with, where you really do want to put it behind you, and maybe you feel like, all of your friends do it. So you're like, okay, so I could either be at home alone, right, and not doing anything and just getting caught up in my thoughts, or I go out and then I end up in that cycle, right? So that could be how it's playing out for some of you. The interesting thing in the environment, a lot of cards came up, so hopefully this will give us some further insight. But we have the Temperance card. This is actually a Sagittarius Major Arcana card. So on the one hand, with the drinking angle, right? Let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. So with the drinking angle, you could almost see that in artwork there too, right? Like, okay, really trying to balance, trying to avoid drinking, right? But having that struggle, right? 1 foot on the ground, 1 foot in the water. It's like, all right, you try to avoid it, but it just keeps pulling you back in, right? Then the Six of Cups. It's like, all right, again, like I said, that old connection. You might feel like, all right, all of your friends that you've grown up with or whatever, or in your current circle, that's how they roll, like all the time. Basically, all you guys do when you get together is go out drinking. And then, this could just, with the moon there, it could just be like you're growing disillusioned with it. Like, okay, like this just needs to stop, right? And then we have the Fool card. So again, then it could be that same energy where on the one hand, this could be how you feel when you're not out drinking, but then when you are, right, almost like this would represent that continuation of the Nine of Swords energy, and this is like that Nine of Cups energy if we just look at the colors and everything. So it could really be what you're feeling, like you're really trying to put it behind you, but then like maybe when you get around your friends, it's that same cycle again, where you just end up right back in that same pattern. But the good thing is, in a more positive sense, the way this could play out, this is a card for a Sag and it's Major Arcana, but this could also just represent the energies at play are actually going to come in and have an influence on the situation in a positive way. And maybe this is even saying that you reconnect. I mean, because if we look at the two energies here, even though this is more cup energy, yes, this definitely looks more like a partying vibe, right? Whereas here, maybe this is saying you reconnect with people from your past that don't get down like that, right? And maybe that's what helps you. And maybe that's what ends up, really helping you put that behind you, right? The whole drinking thing. And then you have the Fool, like that new start where like, all right, cool. Now I feel like I finally have put it behind me and I'm able to enjoy myself. And then with the relationship angle, again, this could be one of those things where maybe this is even someone from your past, from a long time ago, that's come back around, and that's who has you caught up. Like, part of you really wants to commit to them really bad, but you're like, oh, I always get caught up and I, stumble. I can't get past that hurdle, and maybe this is saying the environment, maybe they just happen to bring it out of you to where you finally can make that leap of faith and actually, try to move toward a relationship with them. All right. In the hopes or fears position, definitely an interesting card there as well. You got the Six of Swords. So again, with the drinking energy, again, we see more water there, right? So with the drinking energy, that could definitely represent to me that this is your hope, that you really just want to put it all behind you, be done with it, right? So that's the main thing, So to me, that's part of the battle in of itself. If you really are feeling that way, where like, that you feel like it is holding you back in life, you're going out drinking all that, to even feel like deep down you're ready, like in your mind, like I want to get behind, I want to put this behind me. That's already a big part of the hurdle alone. So you're at least on the right path in that regard. And then this could just be you again trying to keep away from that environment. Like I said, that friend group that all they want to do is just go out drinking, right? And from a relationship perspective too, it could be the same thing, which is saying that you're hoping to move on from the way you sabotage yourself, right? Because with those swords, maybe that's saying that that's the way, you're thinking about how you always sabotage yourself in these situations where you meet someone, they seem like they would be great for a relationship, but then for some reason you can't, overcome that hurdle and actually stick around, right? Because what's interesting is he's moving in that way, right? Whereas your card here is moving in the other direction. And then we have Death at the bottom of the deck, too, which could be saying that maybe this is you finally putting that pattern behind you, right? Whether it's the drinking or maybe running for relationships, either one. And then with the outcome position, we have the Ten of Wands. So this is a card where, yeah, it's a burden in a way, and that's typically how we see it. It is a Sagittarius card too, the last 10 degrees of Sagittarius. So if that's your placement, you might find that this resonates for you a bit more. But it also just represents having the strength and determination to carry that, right? To say, all right, this is it. Like, I don't care. I'm going to finally put this behind me now, so that determination and strength to move past the obstacle, whatever it may be. So that's definitely a positive in that regard, So, but yeah, I do want to just talk about the drinking angle a little bit more, and it could be any addiction, but with the way, like I said, the water cards were sticking out to me, which is rare for them to pop out at me like that. I really feel like it's definitely a thing for some of you, and you might even feel like it really is detrimental, like it's detrimental, like it's a serious problem, because we have the Death card at the bottom of the deck here, and like probably 0.002% of the time does it point to actual death, but you might feel like you're cheating death in a way, like like it's not helpful for you, it's putting your health at risk, you know what I mean? Like you're really trying to get away from it, because both of these, this person's moving away from it, and then this person also, which is your court card, also moving away from that Death card. It's like you're trying to get away from it. So like I said, I know that's really heavy, and it's probably just going to resonate with a few of you, but I did feel compelled to at least bring that up. So hopefully it wasn't too distracting for those of you who doesn't resonate at all, but yeah. Let's get to the actual oracle cards now. The first one we got is Soulmates. There's the artwork for it, and the number is 41. All right, so it says harmonious partnerships, love, friendship, companionship, a relationship fostering personal growth. The Oracle's message: you are meant to evolve and transform with the companionship of others. Certain people enter into your life in order to take you to the next level of healing, consciousness, and authenticity. It is always a reciprocal experience, although the results for each of you will vary. You know these people by the strong pull drawing you toward them, and sometimes by a strong aversion to them initially, too. Soulmates can be friends for life, or remain in your life for only a short time. No matter what, you will be changed in ways that you can't possibly fathom now. Pay attention to these people. They are your greatest gifts. So that was interesting there, especially for the relationship dynamic, like I said, where maybe you feel like deep down that the person is great for you, but you can't overcome that hurdle where you always end up running away, you're closed off, you can't open up to them for whatever reason. Maybe that's what that was pointing to there. And even the friend thing too, maybe it's saying, as far as the aversion to them, maybe there's a whole new group of friends that would give you something different to do other than feeling like, oh, your only option is to go out drinking, and maybe, you panic a bit about that too, right? Or just start to get an aversion to the friend group that does drink for that reason. All right, the relationship message says, consider love in the deepest sense. Love so powerful that you will never be the same, regardless of how long your relationship lasts. Consider friendships and romantic bonds so compelling that they overwhelm you with gratitude or break you open so you will finally claim who you were meant to be. Even a companion animal reminds you that it is you who is being rescued and healed. Pay attention, for you are in the presence of a soulmate, come to guide you home to the real you. So maybe that's what this is pointing to as well with the Temperance card, and it could very well be someone from your past, or maybe just someone that you feel like you've known forever, right? Maybe you guys just hit it off right away. And maybe that's what it's pointing to, saying that, they're going to actually get you past that dark time, right? And have you feeling like, free and like yourself again. So maybe that's what it's saying there. All right. And then the prosperity message says strategic alliances are most important right now as you begin to attract the perfect people to support your dreams. This is a journey you will share with others. Mentors, business partners, helpers, employees, creative partners, friends, and strangers open doors for you and step through the portal to join you in a harmonic dance of collaboration, commitment, and co-creation. This is what you've been waiting for. So, pretty positive message there too. Unfortunately, I know I didn't focus much on like the whole finance angle, but that could be a possibility too. Where, especially with that Seven of Pentacles, where you might feel like you're stuck. Maybe you're like feel like you're spinning your wheels. Like, okay, is this as far as I can go in this particular career path, right? And maybe that Temperance represents someone coming along and giving you a new opportunity. And it might even be an opportunity of something that you wanted to do since you were young, but maybe for whatever reason you got off that path and ended up pursuing a different career that maybe financially is lucrative, but you feel like stressed out and really worn down by it. All right, so let's go to the next Oracle deck. You guys got two cards from this one. The first one you guys got is Dove Spirit. It says, be peace. There's the artwork, and the number is 21. Okay, it says, with her peaceful cooing, the gentle dove spirit invites you to embrace the energy of peace and allow compassion to warm your heart. You will always have the power to generate peace within you, and the appearance of Dove Spirit is a reminder that today and every day is a good day to meditate, to quiet any turbulence within you as you embody tranquility. Above, below, and all around you, much may be happening to distract you, but you are called to engage it with the heart of a peacemaker, asking yourself, what would peace do? Can you agree to disagree? The peace you seek rises within and spreads out into the world as Spirit sends her messenger to remind you of the beauty of her harmonious existence with all that is. How beautiful and powerful is your compassionate heart. So, in a way, I don't see like a huge connection between that and the main spread, but at the same time, maybe hopefully, at least for those of you where you didn't resonate with the drinking or the relationship angle, hopefully this is more for you guys at least to get some messages in there. But yeah, definitely a positive message overall though, so there's that. And then we have Bat Spirit, as your second card, it says a rebirth is assured. So I don't know if I've ever gotten this one, but that sounds positive so far, right? Especially if you are trying to leave, certain toxic patterns behind you, whether it be relationships or addictions. But yeah, let's see what it says. After something has run its course and died or been released, finished, surrendered, completed, or ended, there is a promise of a new beginning. Rebirth is assured, just as night gives way to dawn and the bat emerges from the darkness of a womb-like cave. Bat Spirit has come to remind you that this rebirth is a miraculous one, for the very best elements of what you had to give up in the depth of the old are still present in the new, this amazing life forming now. This is the miracle and magic of rebirth in every aspect of your life, including the rebirth of faith in your ability to establish new and healthy relationships. That spirit reminds you that at present you are in unknown territory and may feel as if you are lost. However, you are called to trust that your intuition will be a reliable guide as you give birth to something new and unfamiliar. That spirit has listened in the darkness of night and has heard all your hopes and dreams, your fears and worries, and assures you that this new version of your dream, this move from darkness into light, from lost to found and death to rebirth, comes to fruition with love at its core. That spirit asks you to trust that what seems to have died is actually shape-shifting into something even more meaningful and wondrous than before. If you feel you are in the dark, know that come morning all will be revealed and things will be in a new form that is right for you. Wow, that was actually pretty heavy, but definitely, no matter what the situation, like I said, if it is the relationship thing where you feel like you sabotage yourself, but I feel like especially if it's more of like that drinking angle where you feel like, you just can't put it behind you, that definitely seemed to align with what I was saying with the whole, temperance card, and then especially the moon card, right, moving to the fool energy, like that darkness into the light, right? And I almost forgot to mention, or at least I think I forgot to mention, maybe I did say it at some point, but your ruler goes direct again this month too. August 11th, I think, is the date it goes direct. So maybe that'll help too. Maybe that'll really be what helps push you forward in a positive direction. Yeah, especially because what might have even made it worse for you too in recent months is your ruling planet has been squaring Jupiter a lot over the past couple of months. So, wait, I don't know if I just said that right. Since it is Mercury retrograde, let me say it again to make sure I got it right. Your ruling planet Jupiter has been squaring Neptune in Pisces, and Neptune can, in a negative sense, in an aspect like that, can actually exacerbate those types of issues with addictions and whatnot. So it might even just, push you to a tipping point, basically. All right, and then lastly, we'll look at a Mudra card. So basically what I've been doing for all the signs this year, if you haven't seen my videos before, is I've been pulling Mudra cards for each of the signs. And what a mudra is, for those of you who don't know, it's a hand gesture that you use while meditating, and their purpose is to help clear blockages. Usually it's more like, something more on a mental, emotional level, but sometimes even physical blockages. And usually you want to hold this for at least 5 minutes, especially if you're not used to meditating. But if you're more accustomed to meditating, some of them even advise half hour, 45 minutes. But yeah, if you're not used to meditating, 5 minutes is fine. And the name of this one is Linga Mudra, and the keyword for it is virility. I'll turn the card over so you guys can see the information on it. If we could get it to focus. There we go. Alright, so yeah, you can see it says, warms the body, relieves cold and flu symptoms, reduces lethargy and laziness, increases self-confidence and willpower. So, at least up here in the northern hemisphere, cold and flu season is long gone. So, but maybe at least the lethargy part, because that can happen sometimes when you're drinking a lot, and willpower, definitely, if there's some kind of addiction, whatever it is, an aversion to relationships, or an actual addiction to alcohol or some other substance. Maybe this could help you guys out with that. So I'll put the name of this mudra in the actual description as well. Hopefully you guys got something from this reading. Like I said, I know for a lot of you that message probably didn't resonate, but hopefully you did get something from the reading. And for those of you who didn't need to hear it, hopefully you guys got something positive from that too. All right, guys, we'll wrap up there. Sending some love your way, and I'll see you next month. All right, bye.